quote day. And so I heard something the other day and I had to ponder about it. I had to think what it actually meant. And the question was, show me your, oh, not question, statement. Show me your incentives and I'll show you your results. I was like, alrighty then, what the fucking hell does this mean? And I think this is tremendous. I really do. I think this is fantastic because I think everyone needs a why. What is your why? Why do you do what you do? What are your incentives? Because if your why is strong enough, if your incentives are strong enough, then when other people fail, then you will succeed. You will have that passion. You will have that grit, the determination to keep powering through. Um, Fucking hell, this is embarrassing. So my incentives for my fitness journey, why? Well, number one, I feel more confident. I want to feel good in a t-shirt. I want to feel good fucking naked. And so, and that's not the embarrassing part, by the way. But also, I want to. I don't want my wife to, because obviously you get older, people have dad bods and stuff, and and I'm not accepting that, by the way. I'm not having a dad bod. Um, but and by the way, you shouldn't have a dad bod either. If you've got, if you're listening to this and you've got a dad bod, then I think you need to make changes because I was listening to, there's a great podcast about being a proper man and what is a man, and I know. And so but he was talking about this isn't part of a podcast, by the way. He was talking about if you're a father and you're fat and you're overweight, then you should take a real good look at yourself because your kid is probably going to follow in your footsteps. Do you want that? So when you're telling them to eat the greens and be healthy and be fit and do this, do that, and you're not doing it yourself, you're not living to your message. You're not living in succinct. Is that the correct word? Anyway, you're not living connected with your message, and that for me is so important. And don't get me wrong, I don't think I've got the best body at all. I could talk about bloody fitness and health loads at the minute, but I don't think I've got the best body in the world. But I think I'm getting there. Unless you've got an injury, I don't think there's any excuse. And I look at, do you know what really annoys me? When I look at people with fat kids, I feel so. There's a fat. I've done a podcast episode about this before, and I got a bit of grief. But if there's a fat family, the mum's fat, the dad's fat, and the kids are fat, I actually personally think that's child abuse. Because why would you, given a choice, and I know that we're all supposed to love our bodies no matter what, but it's healthy. It's not healthy to be fat and to be overweight and to be carrying around all that excess weight. And so I don't believe that we should, we shouldn't frown. We should be allowed to frown on that. We should be allowed to look at that and think, do you know what? No, that's wrong. That kid, you're making choices for that kid. They're not making their own choices. My kids want to eat ice cream all day, but I don't want them to. And so we've got to be so careful. And so for me, I really do believe that we've got a responsibility as parents to almost show up as the best version of ourselves. And the best version, and by the way, this I don't want to come across like holier than thou. There's things that I do wrong that I don't want my kids to do when I'm older. Like, I do think that the drinking culture is diminishing somewhat in our society. I don't think as many people are drinking, and I think that people who aren't drinking is becoming more of a movement now. And so, do I want my kids to drink as much as me? No, I don't. I don't want my kids to have a beer every single time a football match is on. So I've got to be very, very careful because I know I'm inflicting that behavior on them as well. So I'm not perfect at all. And so maybe I shouldn't be throwing stones in glass houses, etc. And gambling. I've got to be careful gambling. I love a bet. I really enjoy a bet. But I'm also mindful that that could really hurt them growing up as well because I don't hide it from them, but I've had a bet. They said, "Dad, you bet on this football match." I'm like, oh, shit. And so I am far from perfect. I am far from perfect. But in terms of fitness and health, we've got weights around the house and stuff, and the kids see I'm going for runs. So I feel like I'm doing that correctly. And so I've got responsibilities, and I think you've got responsibilities as a parent. I believe that we should make sure that we show our kids how to act rather than tell them. Don't get me wrong, we should tell them as well, but show them as well to back it up. And so if you've got a dad bod, etc., I think you should really focus on that and try to change it and show them a healthier version of you. And by the way, you'll live long, you'll have more energy, and there's all sorts of good shit that comes with it. Anyway, we're talking about my incentives and my health and fitness. So, yeah, number one, obviously, I can't remember what I said now, but I want to, I want to look good naked. So that's number one. Number two is I want my kids to see me prioritizing fitness. I want them to, it's a way of, it's a normality. That's what we normally do. That's how we normally act. That's how we normally show up. And so that's a real strong why for me. But one of the biggest ones as well is I don't ever want to bump into one of my wife's ex and they're in better shape than me. And so for what, that's weird, isn't it? It's really weird. It's so weird. I know it's weird. It's like, why? How? What does it even matter? But for whatever reason, that motivates me. And I don't know why it motivates me. It's probably from some lack of self-esteem somewhere along the lines, but that really motivates me. And so I use that. I use them three things to really motivate me. They're my incentives for my fitness. And then I've got incentives for making money, for whatever it is. You've got to have a why. So my question to you is, what's your why? For the things that you want to achieve in life, what is your why? Because you need a strong why. There needs to be pain. Yeah, there does. There needs to be pain associated with your whys, your incentives. And for me, what happens? This is really me opening up. So if I bumped, if I was out of shape, my wedding photos, oh my God, I had a back injury and I was fat, I was horrible. And so, and by the way, like I keep saying, I'm not in amazing shape now, but I'm definitely getting there. And so if I bumped into one of my wife's ex and was talking away, you know, and I was I was chubbier and fatter, how would I feel? And then I think to myself, well, how would Claire feel? Would she think she made the wrong choice? Would she look at them and think, oh, they're all right, look at Dean? And I really lean into that pain, how it'd feel. And so when I don't want to go for a run at 9:30 at night or 6 a.m, I fucking get out of bed and do it because I lean into that pain, the alternative. What is the alternative? Money, business, work. What if we lost this house? I lean into the pain of losing the house. I lean into the pain of bumping into someone in the supermarket and someone asking, oh, how's it going? I remember bumping into someone when I had Laza. How's it going at Laza? This is a restaurant, by the way, that did terrible. Not very good. Not very good at all. And it was horrible. It was painful. So I lean into that pain. So what is your why? What is your incentives? And is enough pain connected to them to make you push yourself and to make you do stuff that you normally wouldn't do? Anyway, I've rambled on enough. This is a long episode. Show me your incentives and I'll show you your results. I love it. All right, my friends, we will talk Monday. See you soon. Love you. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.